We know that we're living in a world flooded, totally flooded by content. So what does it take to put in place effective strategies and to leverage all these upcoming platforms, all these upcoming technologies that we've been talking about since this morning? Now, we may not have all the answers, but I assure you that we have someone here who does. Please welcome the Chief Executive Officer of Weblu USA, Mehdi Nauras. Mehdi, welcome. There he is. I was worried for a second. Welcome, Mehdi. Hello, hello.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Morocco. All right. Thank you all for being here. My name is Nouras Mehdi, Moroccan, born and raised in Morocco. I'm a product of this country, and I'm so happy to be here today to share my experience. About 10 years ago, or a little bit over that, I moved to the United States to pursue my American dream, and was lucky enough to fulfill that. Worked for some of the amazing brands, led some big projects, and created, scaled about 4 brands in the past 7 years. And can't be happy enough to share my experience with my fellow Africans, Moroccans, and discuss a topic that's been in the media for a while, which is content. We all hear about content every day, and yeah, so let's go on. All right, so in today's keynote, so we're gonna have 2 different outlets of the conversation. So first of all, I wanna make sure that we all here in the room understands the creative strategies and the key success factors as the creators that we should follow. And at a second level, we will talk about the key 3 creative content trends that we've seen since the beginning of 2023. So let's pause here and stress enough about how important those 5 key success factors to have a top-notch, successful creative strategy. So first, we all talk about the keyword consistency. And we hear consistency, not only the frequency or the cadence or when and where do you post, but also the branding outline, the brand message, the tone of voice, the creatives. All those items have to be in synergy and have to complete each other and have to be consistent with each other as we drive content in social platforms. And driving content in social platforms will allow us to build communities. That sense of community will help your brand boost the engagement rate, drive the awareness, which we're gonna lead automatically to higher conversion rates. And surprisingly, all of you here today has a precious metal or plastic device in your hands, taking pictures, recording videos, sending text messages, which is your phone. We typically spend 3 times time on our phone than the other kind of like traditional media outlets, your TV, your desktop, your laptop. So users tend to access content in mobile more than anything else, and the conversion rates in mobile is higher than everything else. So from our content strategy, we have to take a mobile-first approach and create content that's driven for mobile distribution. Now, the 4th point, which is an important point, which we call micro moments. So between us, I flew from Los Angeles to California 2 days ago. And the type of content that marketers have to push my way are the content that I can relate to during this micro moment by me being a visitor or a tourist in Morocco. So airline companies it will be great to push content that mimic my experience because I can relate to. And those micro moments are very important to think about and to use when we are drafting our marketing strategy. Now, the last item, but not the least, is as a brand, we have to be wise selecting the influencers we work with. Because nowadays, an influencer strategy, it's important in our content delivery strategy. But we gotta make sure that those influencers, they fit our brand, they represent what we believe in, and also our audience have faith on them. Now, let's record all those 5 key success factors because they are important elements for our next chapter in this conversation, which is what are the top 3 trends that we see today in the creative world. So I will go through them quickly here, then we're gonna come across each one of them individually at a later stage. So nowadays we see major growth in ad platform for CTVs and OTT. And for the one that doesn't know what does it mean, I'll explain it later. AI and marketing collaboration. We heard the word AI today probably in every single panel, every single keynote. Yeah, it's the age where we live today. But the key word here is collaboration. Because AI without collaboration means nothing. And the last point is the hyper-growth that we're seeing today in the creator economy. So let's look at these logos here. Those are like the different connected TVs and over-the-top platforms that we have today. I'm sure most of you have your smart TV, your Apple TV Plus, your Fire TV at home, and you have a subscription to a Netflix, a Hulu, or like a Showtime account. So this platform today has the best targeting mechanism in the market. And if we want to look at the commercial outlook for the OTT and CTV ads right now, this vertical has the healthier outlook from an ad spending growth perspective than any other platform or mechanism. So in 2023 alone, we're looking to spend about $27 billion, and that's with a B, in the US only. And that represents about 12% of the global marketing spend, TV, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all the other platforms. And that number will keep growing at a 27% rate over next year. We also consider that number gonna keep growing at a double-digit growth factor over the next 5 to 6 years. So through 2026, expand the spending to be about $40 billion. So as an early adopter, it's in your interest, if you are a brand, to start exploring ways how to advertise in these platforms. If you are an agency, a content creator, this is the time to jump in the wagon. Because 2 years from now, it's gonna start seeing some saturation. Now, why CTV it's important? So in CTV, we are reaching to audience that's already consuming the content. So you're not bothering them. They are watching content. You just like squeezing that with more advertising content. And through OTT today, we can do cross-platform advertising, which means I can target you in Hulu, then retarget you in Netflix, or retarget your family in Netflix. Because through the data segmentation that this platform are using, we're able to create efficiency and effectiveness in our marketing mix within these protocols. We're also able to not only to advertise in the videos, but you can advertise in the apps and advertise in the website as well, which tend to have higher viewability rate and higher conversion rate. So CTV, OTT are important, and that's something, my recommendation to anyone in digital space, that's something to look into. But now let's move on to our second trendy items in the content creation space, which is AI. And Probably you heard AI for the 100th times and promise to keep it short. But I want you here to raise your hand. Who's in the room understand the difference between AI and machine learning? All right. So few of you does that. So in a simple way, so AI, it's programs that are enabled to analyze data and take automatic actions, right? But to take those actions, we have to utilize machine learning to create and recognize the pattern from the users. So AI alone cannot work like magic. It requires machine learning. And collectively, they can be dangerous in today's age.
It's always good to see you, buddy. I'm so happy you came on, man.
Yeah, it's great to be on the show. Your audience is just so different from your normal Apple users, and that's a good thing. It's cool.
Well, you know, I was an Apple user way before I did this show. I've been a fan of yours and Macintosh since the 1980s.
Well, you know, we just kind of figured that out. Even though Apple is big, it's still like 0.5% of the total users.
Thank you so much. So, as you can see here, this is our good friend Joe Rogan, the host of the #1 podcast in the world, with more than 2.5 billion views per year. And I think it's the dream of every digital influencer to see Joe Rogan hosting Mr. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, because thanks to him, we're here today, and thanks to him, we have this digital experience and digital transformation that's basically changing the world using our Apple products. So the video that you watch, guys, that 40-second video, couldn't be done without the use of AI and machine learning. And in that video, we used 3 main applications. ChatGPT, which you guys heard about it a lot today, Jasper AI, and DALL-E, the second version. So I'm going to walk you through each one of them, explain what they do exactly, and give you a brief summary toward the end. So ChatGPT. So it is an AI-based protocols that allow you to conversate and create taglines, jokes, explain topics, write stories, debug and explain code, and create content in multiple languages, which would have been helpful today in our events, since we have people from 34 countries speaking more than 5 languages. That would have been a helpful tool. So ChatGPT is making a huge impact, and I think the marketing house behind it is driving the awareness to a maximum level. Now, Jasper.ai, it's a great tool for content writer, no matter if you are doing organic growth, SEO. So if you're an SEO agency here and you're building SEO content to improve your ranking in search engine, Google and what's not, I would highly recommend using this tool because it can analyze what the Google algorithm is looking for exactly and create those blog articles for you. Also, when we look at the paid side, no matter if it's a Facebook ad, TikTok, or whatever, copy, it's very important. Matter of fact, to be realistic here, your 2 elements that's going to make a difference in your ad performance is your creative and copy. So Jasper AI has proven to improve conversion, ROAS, and sales, cross sales, under sales at the highest level. And for a creator perspective, all of you, the copywriters here, I think we all know that the biggest challenge is to put together that first draft of whatever topic you're writing about, right? So, and leveraging Jasper AI to introduce and publish that first draft, then use your creative mindset to edit, alter, and fine-tune it. It's the plan you should follow. Now, the last one, which is the scariest one for me, simply because we are a creative agency, we do a lot of creatives, a lot of websites, and I'm worried a lot about the future of our designers, mainly from a speed perspective, because DALL-E today can expand images into web design elements by combining concepts, attributes, and styles, You can just give DALL-E a text descriptions. Technically, we ask DALL-E to produce images for an interview between Joe Rogan and Steve Jobs and look at the results. And close your eyes for a second and think about what AI can do in 2023 than what AI can do in 2026 and what's going to do in 2030. So I'll be looking forward coming back here 7 years from today and see how that experience will look like. But I would agree with a lot of folks that has spoken before. Let's use them as collaborative tools. They will never replace the creative mindset because they cannot publish the emotion to the audience and crowd. That's the only key element that we have in our advantage. But we can use them to create efficiency and throughput and horsepower. Imagine if we have this presentation today, 20 years from now, where laptop, dashboards, internet was not available. It's going to be different, right? So, all right, so the third item that's been the elephant in the room, simply because we've been hearing the word, content is king. You cannot survive without content. But we all know that content is super expensive, and brands can't keep up with all the knowledge that they have to acquire to keep up with the trends. And sometimes, content trends are moving fast at the speed of a culture, and it becomes necessary to partner with content creators to produce those pieces of content, simply because all the numbers right now have shown that UGC content has converted way better than professionally produced content in social media. So now the question that you should all ask ourselves today, should my brand use a content creator? I would say, hell yes. Partner with them, because these people inspire communities. They bring people together, share interests, hobbies, and they can be a useful tool for your brand. Thank you so much for having me here. By the way, this presentation was designed fully by AI and enhanced by our creative team at Weblu. So thank you, my Weblu team. My contact details on the right. Feel free to reach out to me if you need any help. And I'm so happy to give back to my country. Thank you, Morocco. See you next time.
Thank you, Mehdi.
Thank you.
Awesome.